It is time for Jey Uso to choose. Will he pick his brother or will he pick the Bloodline? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. Here to preview Smackdown for tonight, the 9th of June 2023. So we've got quite a lot happening on Smackdown tonight. A star-studded Smackdown without the stars, so to say. So it's kind of like a jobber-studded Smackdown, but it's studded nonetheless. We've got Jey Uso having to make a decision. We've got ASUKA having to get a new championship. We've got the potential appearance of the tag team women's champions, Ronda and Shayna Baszler. And we can throw in 4 Money in the Bank qualifiers. So first off, let's address Asuka. So we made a video earlier on the channel about this. She is going to be presented tonight with a brand new championship. And I guess this is well, I'm assuming, I could be wrong, but I guess this is WWE finally dropping the Raw and Smackdown title from their championship. So I think going forward, they're not going to have a Raw Women's Championship. They're not going to have a Smackdown Women's Championship. I believe they will just rename them something else. Will they keep it simple? They could just call them, Universal Women's, or they could call it World Women's, or WWE Women's. The point is, we need to get rid of the Smackdown, and we need to get rid of the Raw, because time and time again now, we see people end up on the opposite show from the title that it should be on, and we get a Smackdown person with the Raw belt, or a Raw person with a Smackdown belt, and it's an absolute mess. It also devalues the belts. I feel like the belts would be a lot more important if they did not have Smackdown and Raw in the name of the championship. So hopefully they get changed tonight and Asuka gets awarded with a belt that actually looks pretty good. We seen Roman Reigns get one last week. I wasn't really impressed with the design. I wasn't impressed with the design that Seth Rollins got either, to be honest. Hopefully they get it right tonight, and we're going to find out who Jey Uso will choose tonight. But what we're also going to find out is who is going to be in the Money in the Bank matches, and that is what I want to talk about right now. I'm looking at the Money in the Bank, and it must be the worst lineup I think we've ever seen heading into Money in the Bank. And I get it, the lineups are not complete yet, but even looking at tonight's Money in the Bank qualifiers and the qualifiers that we've had, it's like, no matter who wins these qualifiers, the match is still going to be really, really poor. I'm looking at who's in these matches, and it's like, let's go through them. Santos Escobar versus Mustafa Ali. Butch versus Baron Corbin. Are you serious? Are we supposed to believe that one of these guys, Butch or Corbin, is going to go into a Money in the Bank and potentially win the briefcase and cash in on Roman fucking Reigns? Absolutely not. Bayley versus Mia Yim and Io Sky versus Shotzi. I mean, I remember in WWE, and listen, I'm not going to say that the Money in the Bank was created for the top main event guys. I don't think that was ever the case. Now, have we had some top guys in it? Of course. But I would argue that the Money in the Bank briefcase was created for upper mid-cards to try and elevate them into a world championship position. That is my opinion. I don't think this Money in the Bank thing was done to try and, just put a bunch of 6 main eventers in there. I think it was to try and push upper mid-carders into the world title scene. But the people in it this year are not upper mid-carders, guys. They are fucking horrendous. They are jobbers. Look at the first one. We had Benoit, Kane, Jericho, Christian, Edge. Holy fuck. Who was the other guy? Shelton Benjamin. Look at who we're getting now. I mean, Jesus, look at the state of these matches. I mean, come on. Are we supposed to believe Butch or Corbin is worthy of winning Money in the Bank? Absolutely not. As for who I think is going to win these 4 matches, I'm going to go with Santos Escobar to beat Mustafa Ali. I'm going to go with Baron Corbin to beat Butch. I'm going to go with Bayley to beat Mia Yim. And I'm going to go with Io Sky to defeat Shotzi. So that is my predictions for those matches. We have the return, possibly, of Ronda and Shayna Baszler, guys. So, I mean, try and close your eyes and maybe the ugliness won't hurt us too much. But yeah, the new Women's Tag Team Champions are going to be on Smackdown. And at this stage, I kind of just want Ronda Rousey to go away. And I want Shayna Baszler to wear a mask or something so I don't have to look at her face. So, yeah, I'm not excited about those two on Smackdown tonight. And I guess then that leaves us with the final thing we want to talk about, which is Jey Uso. But also, I mean, this is not really relevant. Seth Rollins will be on SmackDown tonight, and he will defend his World Heavyweight Championship, but it isn't a dark match, so unless you're at the arena, you won't see it. I don't know how I feel about this. Obviously, they're trying to get the arena packed out. That's why Seth Rollins is there. That's why he's been announced for the show. They're trying to get as many fans in. But I still don't like this. Now, I know it's a dark match and it's not exactly breaking the brand split, but I just don't. I liked it back in the day when you had different rosters and they travelled alone. You know, they travelled separately. The Raw roster would travel with Raw and SmackDown would travel with SmackDown. I'm not a big fan of this. I think if you're going to do the brand split, you do it right. That's my opinion, but whatever. As for Jey Uso, though, he needs to choose. Will he choose his brother Jimmy, or will he choose the Bloodline? Last week, we seen Solo, his other brother, basically choose the Bloodline. He gave a Samoan Spike to Jimmy, and now it is up to Jey Uso. Roman Reigns has said that Jey will do what he always does, and that's fall in line. But, I mean, basically, since Roman Reigns' return, and since they involved any other members of the Bloodline, Jey Uso has been the one that has always been against them. Originally, it was Jey Uso facing Roman Reigns for the title. He was going up against his cousin. Then we seen Jey Uso side with Sami Zayn for a moment, you know, and he looked like he was going to leave the Bloodline. He was listening to Sami Zayn. He was very conflicted when Zayn obviously attacked Reigns. So we've seen in the past that Jey seems to be the one that was more willing to leave and more willing to stand up to Roman Reigns, but somewhere along the lines it changed, and Jimmy is now the one that stood up to Reigns. He's the one that attacked Reigns with the super kicks, and then he's the one that got Samoan Spike last week. So we'll find out tonight, guys, whether Jey will pick his brother or pick the Bloodline. I think his brother is the obvious pick, so maybe they'll go with the Bloodline, but then that would leave Jimmy Uso on his own, and I just don't really see what Jimmy Uso's going to do against, you know, 3 members of the Bloodline. So it makes most sense for Jey to team up with his brother, and then I guess we can get some tag team action. But anyway, guys, that's it for your SmackDown preview. So I'm going again with Escobar, Corbin, Bayley, and Io Sky. I am going with Jey Uso to team up with his brother. He's going to choose his brother and not the Bloodline. Hopefully the new belt that ASUKA gets pretty good. Hopefully Shayna Baszler's wearing a mask tonight. Hopefully Ronda Rousey does not pick up a fucking microphone. And that is pretty much it, guys, for your SmackDown preview. I will catch you later. Tomorrow, in fact, for the review. I ain't sitting up to 3 AM to watch this shit. No way, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. Until next time. Peace.